Hey guys, welcome into another episode of 410 Sports Talk. James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin, and we got some big news. If you can't read the prompt, we're going to give you the news anyway, and we're going to talk all about it. But before we do, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date. Make sure to turn on your notifications. Make sure to give us a like. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, all the things that are on the bottom of the screen. But when it comes to what you're here for, let's get into this news, Glenn. What do you got for us?
Yes, Derek Wolfe re-signs with the Ravens, this time on a 3-year, $12 million deal. No more one-year rental. This guy's going to be around. And I'm excited because when this guy was the last remaining of the Monstars, with Brandon Williams and Calais being forced out from, I think both were forced out for COVID, he was the only interior defender for, I know for one game, may have been for two. And, man, he was battling in there. I mean, he was fighting. He ended up being a heck of a player for us. Didn't really he ended up with, I think he tied his career high in tackles with 51 combined. Didn't necessarily provide much interior pass rush like we were hoping when he set his career high in sacks last year with 7 with the Broncos, or 2 years ago now, with 7 in just 12 games. We were kind of hoping you might get a little bit of that. Didn't really get much, only 1 sack on the year. But certainly provided a lot of punch in the run defense and was a big staple in there when our other guys were forced out of the game.
Yeah, I'm super excited because this guy is the definition of Baltimore. He's gritty, he's persistent, he does the dirty work, gets it done. That 1 sack that he had was all work, right? Like even watching that play, and I agree with you. What comes to my mind immediately is the Titans game. Just like you said, while we lost that first game, he played his tail off. I know there are no moral victories in sports, but it was awesome to see out there. It was awesome to see him go out there and fight and give everything he had to that game. That was super awesome for me, and just like you mentioned as well. So I'm super happy he's here to stay. He's 31 years old. 31 years old, I'm pretty sure. I think I just looked it up. Anyway, so he's still got some tread left on the tires.
31 too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I know he's had some injury concerns in the past, but knock on wood, he stays healthy, and the Ravens with their strength and conditioning team and Allgrass Fields continue to help him in that process. But I think it's great. I'm interested to see now, though, Glenn, if the Ravens find a guy that they really, really want. If something happens with Brandon, I think that's still something that is possible as the days go by. I see it less and less likely, but you never know. Guys are getting cut left and right. And so it's definitely going to be interesting, but I'm happy for Derek Wolfe because he worked his tail off. He loves it here. He said he loved it here when the season was over. So it's great to have guys that want to be here, that believe in the team. And also Derek Wolfe was the one that finally put the poop gate to rest.
Was he the one?
I saw him on a podcast 2 weeks ago, and he finally let everyone know what happened, that it wasn't real. Lamar Jackson was certainly not pooping, that he was cramping from his calf and his forearms.
Okay. All right. Thank goodness that story is put to rest.
That's right. That's worth $12 million alone.
That's right.
Right. Lamar's paying him out of his pocket. Right. No, but I'm super happy for Derek Wolfe. Couldn't be more happy. But you know what? I'll say one thing. I hope he does the howl this coming year. I didn't see it too much last year.
Well, I think that's maybe for the fans, and with no fans in the stands this year, they'll be back, and maybe he'll get back to doing it. Yeah, let's get back to doing it. Let's get the hype train going. I mean, look, at the very least, he provides more depth for that front, which is something that Wink really loves to have, and certainly knows how to use the depth when he has it. So
think about this, Glenn. If his deal is we'll say is a $4 million cap hit this year, right? We'll just hypothetically until we get the details. Okay. That means that him, Zeitler, and Bowser, all three still under what the Patriots are paying for Judon for 1 year.
Yep. Just barely, but still under.
That's crazy, right?
I mean, the Ravens just consistently find a way to not overpay for players. And this is just another example of it. To get a guy as good as he was for us last year, played in 14 of the 16 games, he set a career high in tackles. So, the guy was – now, look, here's what I want to get to, though. So, when talking about the front, Judon's gone, Ngakwe's gone, Ward is now gone. They bring back McPhee, Ellis, Bowser, and now Derek Wolfe. with Metabike and with Broderick Washington, are you good going into the season with that? At least the defensive line.
Well, and
Calais
you got Williams. Oh yeah, okay, there you
and
go.
Brandon Williams,
Yeah.
exactly. Are
Mhm.
you good? Do you think they're set at least on the down linemen here in Baltimore?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that there was some interest in a couple other guys out there, but that was probably back burner stuff if Derek Wolfe fell through.
Yeah, and I think they have one of the best fronts in the, like you're saying, the down defensive lineman in the league.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think Anthony Weaver's got to be happy looking at his group right now because it's a good mix. I mean, there's a lot of veterans on there, but there's also some young guys. I think Matabike is going to make a big impact in this year. And Broderick Washington, as much as we were kind of unsure about him when they drafted him, he ended up turning into a pretty darn good player.
Yeah, the other thing I think is intriguing, I don't know what your thoughts are, is that you can throw a lot of different looks as far as like types of guys. You have these trees, right? These long, Derek Wolfe is both long and, he's almost 300 pounds. So he's a big guy. But then you got a Metabike that's more of a short, stout, quick, powerful guy. You have a lot of different looks that you can throw at these that play the same position, but they play a lot differently. So it's a change of pace thing for these offensive linemen. It's just gonna be tricky. If you got a Calais Campbell or Brandon Williams beating on you all game, and then you got Metabike coming in, he's a whole different gear, right? Yep. And so it's going to be interesting to watch. Certainly, I'm really excited about Metabike.
Yeah, and with Wolfe coming back, it definitely, I think you're right. It makes it, if they did target a guy, it would make it a little bit easier to stomach if they decide to move on from Brandon. But I really hope that they decide to extend Brandon.
Yeah,
lessen the cap hit this year and still free up some space because I do think he's still brings value. Even with Wolfe, I think you still need to have a guy like Brandon. I know there's a lot of passing teams out there, but there's still some teams out there, just like the Browns, that commit to the run. And if they can run on you, it's going to be a long, long afternoon. So, yeah, I'm hopeful that they still work things out, lower the cap hit from Brandon Williams, but keep him around. Pair him next to Wolfe, next to Calais Campbell, and yeah, it's going to be problems for the league.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, give us your thoughts. What's your grade on the signing and the contract itself? Let us know all your opinions below in the comments, and we'll talk to you guys soon.